$2.2 billion. That's what a single B-2 Spirit stealth bomber costs American taxpayers. But it's not even close to being alone at the top of the world's most expensive combat aircraft. Today, we're counting down the 10 most expensive jet fighters ever built, and the engineering reality behind their price tags will shock you. The aircraft on this list represent the absolute pinnacle of aerospace engineering, but their costs reveal something most people never consider: the real price of air superiority in the 21st century. Number 10. F-35A Lightning II, $80 million per unit. The F-35A conventional takeoff variant starts our countdown at number 10 with a current flyaway cost of $80 million. That number has dropped dramatically from early program costs exceeding $150 million. Economies of scale work. Over 1,000 F-35s have been built worldwide, driving per unit costs down to levels that seemed impossible a decade ago. One Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine produces 43,000 pounds of thrust with afterburner, the most powerful engine ever fitted to a fighter aircraft. The AN/APG-81A ESA radar and sensor fusion system processes data from multiple sources simultaneously, giving pilots godlike situational awareness. Stealth coatings and carefully shaped surfaces keep the radar cross-section below 0.001 square meters. 9 partner nations co-developed the F-35: United States, United Kingdom, Italy, Netherlands, Australia, Canada, Denmark, Norway, and Turkey. 12 additional nations have purchased or ordered F-35s. Over 3,000 aircraft will eventually be built. That makes it the most successful fighter program in history by production numbers. At $80 million per copy, it's also becoming one of the most affordable fifth-generation fighters available. Number 9. FA-18E/F Super Hornet Block III, $95 million per unit. The Boeing F/A-18 Super Hornet Block III comes in at number 9 with a base flyaway cost of $95 million. But fully equipped with targeting pods, weapon systems, and electronic warfare packages, you're looking at $150 million per aircraft. Navy carrier operations demand redundancy and survivability. That drives costs higher than Air Force equivalents. 2 General Electric F-414 engines produce 22,000 pounds of thrust each. The Block III upgrade includes conformal fuel tanks extending range by 120 nautical miles. An advanced cockpit system with a massive touchscreen display replaces dozens of switches and buttons. Most importantly, the Super Hornet's service life extension to 10,000 flight hours means these aircraft will fly through 2045. The Navy operates over 540 Super Hornets. Boeing continues production in St. Louis alongside the F-15EX. When the F-35C faced delays, the Super Hornet filled the gap. It's not stealthy, it's not cutting edge, but it works, and it keeps working. In naval aviation, reliability outweighs revolutionary technology. Number 8. Chengdu J-20 Mighty Dragon, $110 million per unit. China's J-20 Mighty Dragon lands at number 8, though exact costs remain classified by Beijing. Western intelligence estimates place the unit cost around $110 million. That seems impossibly low for a fifth-generation stealth fighter, but Chinese aerospace production operates under completely different economics than Western manufacturers. The J-20 uses 2 Chinese WS-10C engines producing roughly 32,000 pounds of thrust each. Earlier models used Russian AL-31F engines until domestic production ramped up. The aircraft stretches longer than an F-22, giving it exceptional range for Pacific operations. Chinese engineers prioritized strike capability over dogfighting agility. It's designed to kill tankers, AWACS, and bombers before they reach the mainland. China has built over 200 J-20s since 2017. Production continues at a pace Western manufacturers can't match. When labor costs 1/10 of American rates and the government controls the entire supply chain, you can build advanced fighters for less. Whether they match American capability remains hotly debated among defense analysts. Number 7. Dassault Rafale, $115 million per unit. France's Dassault Rafale climbs to number 7 with a base unit cost of $115 million. A fully loaded Rafale M carrier variant can push past $150 million. That price spread tells you everything about modern fighter costs. It's not just the airframe, it's the systems. The Rafale uses a single SNECMA M88 engine producing 17,000 pounds of thrust with afterburner. Not the most powerful engine on this list, but here's where France got smart. The Rafale was designed for true multi-role capability from day one. Air superiority, ground attack, nuclear strike, carrier operations. One airframe handles everything. That versatility costs money up front but saves billions in logistics. France operates 180 Rafales across Air Force and Navy. Export customers include Egypt, India, Qatar, Greece, and Croatia. When you factor in weapon systems, training, and support equipment, a complete Rafale package easily exceeds $200 million per aircraft. But that single platform replaces what other nations need 3 different aircraft to accomplish. Number 6. Eurofighter Typhoon, $124 million per unit. The Eurofighter Typhoon reaches number 6 with a unit cost of $124 million. But here's what makes this price tag interesting. This isn't an American aircraft. It's a multinational European collaboration between Britain, Germany, Italy, and Spain. 4 countries, 4 different requirements, 4 different production lines. That complexity drives costs through the roof. The Typhoon uses a delta-wing canard design that gives it exceptional maneuverability. 2 Eurojet EJ-200 engines produce 20,000 pounds of thrust each with afterburner. The aircraft can supercruise at Mach 1.5 without using fuel-guzzling afterburners. That's genuine capability. But coordinating production across 4 nations means logistical nightmares that American manufacturers avoid with centralized production. European nations have ordered over 570 Typhoons. At $124 million each, that's a $70 billion program. The engineering is solid. The politics made it expensive. When you need consensus from 4 parliaments for every design change, costs spiral upward fast. Number 5. F-35C Lightning II carrier variant, $135 million per unit. The F-35C carrier variant hits number 5 at $135 million per aircraft. Why does the Navy version cost $55 million more than the Air Force F-35A? Carrier operations demand brutal structural reinforcement. The C variant features larger wings for improved low-speed handling during carrier approaches. Strengthened landing gear absorbs catapult launches and arrested landings that generate forces exceeding 5 Gs. The tailhook and associated structure add thousands of pounds. Folding wings allow the F-35C to fit on cramped carrier decks and elevators. That folding mechanism alone costs millions in engineering and adds maintenance complexity. Saltwater corrosion requires special coatings and materials. Every system must handle the harsh maritime environment. The Navy doesn't compromise on carrier compatibility. It pays for absolute reliability. The Navy plans to buy 340 F-35Cs to replace the aging Super Hornet fleet. First operational squadron deployed aboard USS Carl Vinson in 2021. These aircraft give carriers stealth strike capability they've never possessed. An F-35C can penetrate advanced air defenses, eliminate threats, and return to the ship without ever being detected. That capability transformed naval aviation strategy. Number 4. F-35B Lightning II STOVL variant, $145 million per unit. The F-35B short takeoff and vertical landing variant storms into number 4 at $145 million per aircraft. This is the most complex variant in the F-35 family. Why? It's essentially 2 aircraft in one. Behind the cockpit sits a massive Rolls-Royce lift fan powered by the main engine through a drive shaft. That lift fan generates 20,000 pounds of thrust for vertical operations. The main engine's thrust vectoring nozzle swivels downward, adding another 43,000 pounds of vertical thrust. The engineering challenge was enormous. The lift fan, drive shaft, doors, and control systems add over 3,000 pounds of weight. That cuts range and payload compared to the F-35A. But the Marines needed a Harrier replacement for amphibious assault ships. The F-35B delivers stealth and sensor fusion to expeditionary operations. It can operate from damaged runways, roads, or small helicopter carriers that can't handle conventional fighters. The Marines plan to buy 340 F-35Bs. Britain and Italy also operate the B variant from their short-deck carriers. Japan recently announced F-35B purchases to operate from converted helicopter destroyers. The tactical flexibility justifies the astronomical cost. No other aircraft on Earth combines fifth-generation capability with vertical landing. Number 3. F-22 Raptor. $150 million per unit. The F-22 Raptor takes the bronze medal at $150 million per unit. But that figure is dangerously misleading. When you include development costs spread across just 187 production aircraft, the real program cost per Raptor reaches $350 million. Let that sink in. One aircraft costs more than most countries' entire annual defense budgets. But here's what that money bought. The F-22's radar cross-section measures 0.0001 square meters, smaller than a golf ball. Two Pratt & Whitney F119 engines produce 35,000 pounds of thrust each and enable supercruise at Mach 1.8 without afterburners. The thrust vectoring nozzles allow maneuvers that defy physics. In red flag training exercises, F-22s routinely achieve kill ratios exceeding 100-0 against fourth-generation opponents. Congress killed the program at 187 aircraft in 2009. Production tooling was destroyed. The F-22 cannot be restarted at any price. Those 187 Raptors represent the most capable air superiority fighters ever built, and there will never be more. Scarcity drove the price. Capability justified it. Number 2. F-15EX Eagle II, $180 million program cost per unit. The F-15EX Eagle II secures the silver medal at number 2, and this is where American acquisition costs get complicated. The flyaway cost is just $87 million. That's what Boeing charges to build the aircraft. But the Air Force program cost, including development, testing, and initial spares, reaches $180 million per aircraft. That's the real number taxpayers pay. The EX variant represents a complete overhaul of the 50-year-old F-15 design. 2 F110GE129 engines produce 29,000 pounds of thrust each. New fly-by-wire flight controls replace mechanical systems. The APG-82 AESA radar tracks over 200 targets simultaneously. Advanced electronic warfare suites rival anything on fifth-generation fighters. And here's the kicker. It can carry 29,500 pounds of weapons on external hardpoints. No other fighter in the world matches that payload capacity. The Air Force plans to buy 144 F-15EX aircraft. Boeing's St. Louis production line will build them through 2031. Each aircraft comes with a 20,000-hour service life. That's roughly 40 years of operations. When you calculate cost per flight hour over 4 decades, the EX delivers extraordinary value. But that initial $180 million price tag per aircraft puts it firmly in second place on our list. Number 1. B-2 Spirit Stealth Bomber, $2.2 billion per unit. The B-2 Spirit Stealth Bomber obliterates every other aircraft on this list with a staggering unit cost of $2.2 billion per aircraft. Nothing else comes close. The F-15EX in second place costs $180 million. The B-2 costs over 12 times more. Congress originally planned to buy 132 B-2s. The program was cut to just 21 production aircraft. Spreading development costs across only 21 airframes created the most expensive military aircraft ever built. But consider what that money bought. The B-2's radar cross-section measures smaller than a bird. 4 General Electric F118 engines buried inside the flying wing produce 17,300 pounds of thrust each while generating almost no infrared signature. The aircraft carries 40,000 pounds of weapons in 2 internal bays. It can strike anywhere on Earth within hours. No air defense system can reliably detect it. The B-2 first flew in 1989. Over 35 years later, nothing matches its combination of stealth, range, and payload. Each aircraft requires 119 hours of maintenance per flight hour, keeping those specialized stealth coatings mission-ready costs millions annually. The Air Force operates all 20 remaining B-2s from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. One was destroyed in a 2008 crash. When you calculate total program cost including development, testing, and 30 years of operations, the B-2 program exceeded $44 billion. That's over $2 billion per aircraft. No weapon system in history cost more, and the B-2 will fly until the 2030s when the B-21 Raider finally replaces it. These are the 10 most expensive jet fighters ever built, ranked by their true per-unit cost. These aircraft represent the absolute peak of aerospace engineering and the staggering cost of maintaining air superiority. From the $80 million F-35A to the $2.2 billion B-2 Spirit, these machines prove one undeniable truth: dominance isn't cheap. The next generation will cost even more. The B-21 Raider program aims for a unit cost around $700 million per aircraft. The NGAD 6th generation fighter could exceed $300 million per copy, and the British Tempest program promises capabilities that make today's aircraft look primitive. Superior technology requires superior investment. That's the reality of 21st century air warfare. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit that subscribe button. We decode the engineering reality behind military aviation every week. And drop a comment telling us which aircraft on this list surprised you most. The cost numbers don't lie, but the capabilities they buy win wars.